Let's be honest, most men totally misunderstand what tests are in a relationship. They think it's about manipulation. They think it's disrespect. They even think women are just playing games. And that misunderstanding is exactly why they fail them. Here's the truth. Women don't test you to control you. They test you to figure out who they're actually dealing with. A test isn't an attack. It's simple. It's a question. And that question is always the same. Right down to the core. Are you a grounded man, or are you going to fold under pressure? So what is a test, actually? A test is any moment where your boundaries get challenged a little, your emotional stability gets poked, or your direction in life is questioned. Sometimes it sounds really small, like, why don't you text more? You're always busy. Do you even really care about this? Other times it looks subtle. Maybe she cancels plans at the last minute, starts withdrawing her affection, or uses some light disrespect disguised as humor. But remember, the test isn't about the words she uses. It's always about your response. Why do women test men? What's the real reason? They test you for one simple reason: to see if you are consistent under pressure. Anyone can seem confident when everything is smooth. Anyone can lead when nobody's pushing back. These tests always appear when attraction starts increasing. Emotional investment goes up. The stakes get higher. Testing isn't rejection. It's verification. She is essentially asking, is this man going to stay himself when things are not easy? So why do most men fail these tests? Men fail in three super predictable ways. First, they explain. They start to justify themselves. They overtalk. They try desperately to be understood. Look, explanation always signals insecurity. A leader doesn't explain himself. He just moves forward calmly. Second, they react emotionally. They get defensive. They get frustrated. They try to win the argument. That emotion tells her everything. This man is being led by the situation, not leading it. A man who just reacts is never in control. Third, they collapse their boundaries. They apologize for their standards. They change their plans just to avoid conflict. They trade self-respect for temporary peace. But that doesn't create closeness. It actually kills attraction. So how does a grounded man actually pass a test? Simple. He doesn't fight it. He doesn't dramatize it, and he sure doesn't lecture. He just stays calm, clear, and totally unmoved. His response is all about short answers, a steady tone, and consistent behavior. Listen, he's not being cold, and he's not being distant. He's just centered. His response sends one clear message: I'm solid whether you approve or not. That right there is what passes the test. Now this next part is key. Understanding the difference between testing and real disrespect. Testing is just temporary pressure, but disrespect, that's repeated boundary violation. A disciplined man knows this. He tolerates the tests, he corrects the disrespect, and he walks away from chaos. Where do men fail? When they confuse those two. They either freak out over a simple test, or they tolerate actual disrespect. Both roads lead back to insecurity. Here's the thing most guys never figure out. When you pass those tests consistently, they stop. Why? Because she no longer needs proof. Stability removes anxiety. Clarity removes confusion. A man who is calm, consistent, and self-directed becomes predictable in the absolute right way. That's when respect finally replaces the testing. The core truth is this. Women aren't testing weak men more. They are testing uncertain men. And what ends the tests? Certainty. Not arrogance. Not dominance. Just certainty. So if you want fewer tests in your life, you need to stop explaining. Stop reacting. Stop negotiating your own standards. Lead your life. Hold your frame. Stay calm. Tests don't break men. Uncertainty does. Remember this. Kings don't beg. Kings don't bow. Kings build.